It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Starting with our top story of the day, yesterday evening, a local retirement community brought the magic of prom night to some of the older residents of Keego Harbor. And our very own Jake Schaff has the story.
It's the time of year for everyone to start prepping for their senior prom, but it's not just high schoolers that are having a night to remember. As Magnolia by the Lakes in Keego Harbor recently held their first ever senior prom for the residents of the community, and high school students from Orchard Lake St. Mary's came out to escort the seniors for a night they will never forget.
Well, this is our first and only prom, first prom that Magnolia by the Lakes has ever had. A lot of these people have not ever been to prom. It was my idea to have it, so it was on their bucket list. So instead of celebrating Mother's Day, we celebrated senior prom.
I had never been escorted by anyone anywhere in the past, except at my wedding. But it was very nice, thoughtful.
I think it is fantastic. I haven't been to a senior prom for 65 years, and this is not quite all over again, but it's a lot of fun.
What do you see from the high schoolers that have come out here tonight to just accompany you and accompany all the other seniors?
I thought that was a fantastic idea. You know, give the seniors, the old people, us old people, a taste of the young, and then the young people that I've met are just so friendly and courteous and inquisitive. So it's a good moment.
It's just so much fun to be able to help out and escort the seniors to their dance and see how much fun they have and see them dress up. It brings joy to me to see that on the other people's faces and like give them their corsage or their boutonniere.
I hope they're able to appreciate like the fun that everyone has, that like both old and younger kids can have a good time together and like bond.
What is it about tonight, like the dancing or the food or just the conversations? What are you looking forward to the most?
I think conversation, like building like a connection with the older community and like making those bonds.
Well, it's a good interchange. They learn, we learn. And we've had interface with St. Mary's in the past for various things, activities here on site. They're like grandchildren for most people.
My goal here at Magnolia is to make these seniors live the best life they can, and to me, it's giving back to the community, and I absolutely love doing that for them. And this is epic. Like I said, we've never had a prom here before. So it's going to be good conversation, good memories, good food, and just a lot of friendships and memories to be made tonight.
What do you hope everybody takes away from a night like this?
That they had a good time, and they really appreciate what the staff here does at Magnolia, because it is fantastic.
Everyone is happy tonight, and it's all thanks to the incredible work of everyone at Magnolia by the Lakes. And for the first ever senior prom, it's safe to say that this event is going to be sticking around and creating bigger and better things for the future. For Civic Center TV, I'm Jake Schaff.
Thank you, Jake. A very touching story right out of our own community here in Keego Harbor. And we always highlight moments like these that make Greater West Bloomfield so great. And you can see more of those types of stories on our website, by the way, civiccentertv.com for more. West Bloomfield residents, it's time to safely dispose of your household hazardous waste and old electronics. This spring, household hazardous waste and electronic drop-off takes place Saturday, this will be Friday actually, May 23rd from 4 to 7 p.m. These events are free and open to residents of West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Orchard Lake, and Sylvan Lake. You can pick up a voucher at Town Hall or visit the Town Hall website at wbtownship.org for a full list of accepted items and guidelines. We're expecting a lot of traffic, by the way, so show up when you can. They're asking you not to show up early, show up at those exact times. And like we said, for more, go to wbtownship.org for more information. Exploring nature has never been more fun or accessible for families right here in West Bloomfield. WB Parks Discovery Days provide hands-on activities and a chance to connect with the outdoors. This is year-round, by the way. I actually went inside WB Parks, this interactive experience, to learn a little bit more.
It was listed as one of the activities online when you look what to do with toddlers, and it was open all day, so we decided to come between naps.
Nature Explorers Discovery Days, hosted by West Bloomfield Parks, offers families a chance to immerse themselves in Michigan's natural beauty. The self-guided program features live reptiles and amphibians, hands-on crafts, and so much more.
So we have this lovely nature room space and an outdoor natural play area. We wanted to make sure that the community had an opportunity to check out these areas that are available to them every week. So that's why we adapted our open hours into Discovery Days, so that way it would be open more frequently.
Discovery Days offers a unique way for families to connect with nature. We heard from a patron whose little one is especially fascinated by one of the attractions.
So far, it's the birds. I think she just likes touching them too, especially, but just all of it, to be honest. She's interactive with the puzzles and very fascinated by the turtle as well.
Children and families can explore at their own pace, whether they're crafting, observing live animals, or discovering the wonders of the natural play area. It's an experience that's both fun and educational, inspiring curiosity and fostering a connection with the environment.
It gives everyone an opportunity to actually see one another, because not every time in the winter you don't get to really see everyone. So rooms like this offer an opportunity for the community to get together and to learn a little bit about nature while having fun.
This free program runs on Wednesdays, making it accessible for all families in Greater West Bloomfield. Visitors say it's a wonderful opportunity to bond, learn, and appreciate the beauty of nature together.
I think it's really cool. I did not know we had half of these animals, to be honest. Yeah, I like that they have different types of crafts and it's interactive for children, and I think it's kind of cool for my age as well.
Me too, Harper. Discovery Days are a perfect way for us all to inspire curiosity and appreciation for the natural world that's around us. If you want to find out more about Discovery Days or any other programs going on at West Bloomfield Parks, go to their website, wbparks.org. Young minds are always learning, and at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, kids have a new way to do just that. I actually went inside the children's area to highlight a very interactive, hands-on feature that's capturing imaginations.
I like it's another activity to do at the library, and we did the matching game, which seemed to be the most fun, right? You matched?
Yeah.
It gives us another option. Although there's already so many options, this is another great option to have for us.
The interactive play table offers children a chance to learn through play with activities designed to develop critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. We asked how the interactive play table contributes to the library's ongoing commitment to creating innovative spaces for families to connect and grow.
The table has, I think, 12 different options of different games. We've got some math, some science, some geography, and it has things from toddlers up until about age 12, so a wide range.
For families in West Bloomfield, the interactive play table has quickly become a favorite feature of the library's youth services area. By combining fun and learning, it creates an enriching experience that keeps kids engaged and curious.
So it does both of those very well. There's some educational games, and it is very entertaining. The kids will want to come back and play with it more and more.
A new, incredible interactive resource for families right here in our community. To learn more about the interactive play table and other programs at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, visit their website, wblib.org, for more. Women Who Thrive, the Power of Networking. It's an event, and it's a free, dynamic event focusing on empowering women and celebrating their professional achievements through connection and collaboration. We actually spoke with Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce Programs and Events Director Laura Geftos, and Oakland Thrive Global Resource Program Manager Sari Garcia to tell us more about the event.
Thank you both for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, happy to have you on to talk about this. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks. It's going to be a great panel discussion on women in business in our community, how they've sort of built their success here in Greater West Bloomfield and beyond, and the power of networking all in between. So I do want to begin with you, Sadri, on this. What inspired bringing Women Who Thrive back to West Bloomfield for now a second consecutive year at the library to essentially continue this conversation with our local business community and more?
So we are really excited to have it. This is the second year that we do Women Who Thrive. The first time we did it in Southfield. So we choose West Bloomfield because it's a great area to do it. We wanted to do it in Oakland County, and we think that West Bloomfield is really diverse. It's growing, and small business owners are there. So we really wanted to collaborate with West Bloomfield Library to do it in there, and we're making an impact. We have a consultant in that area, and it's amazing. We want to continue collaborating and impacting the community there.
And local chambers play a big role in that as well. We're also joined by Laura Geftos, the Program and Events Director at the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, who's partnering with Oakland Thrive to put on this event, along with the Great Lakes Women's Business Council. How important, Laura, would you say partnership is in establishing these relationships that lead to really interesting and collaborative conversations like we're going to see in a couple weeks at the library?
Are truly invaluable, honestly. When you find a like-minded organization that does a lot of similar things like you, I'm always about the idea of making things grander and bigger. So we don't really see each other as a competition, but we see each other as an opportunity to grow and make things larger. So when we had the conversation and the idea really came about with Saidi, specifically, it was at the end at one of our galas, and we were really in the hallway just speaking vulnerably about some challenges we were having. And I was like, you know what? These are challenges all women are having in every single industry. Why don't we talk about it? And that's how this idea came aboard with Saidi. So thank you. I'm so forever grateful for her to taking me up on this idea. And then we spoke with Shelley Highlands with the Great Lakes Women's Business Council, who is truly another great ambassador of what we do with the Great Lakes. So just ideas like that and making it bigger and spreading the word and touching all communities, right? Not just one, to say, hey, we're all in this together. Let's talk about it and let's do it together. So it's truly invaluable.
And Sadri had mentioned last year's event being in Southfield. This year, you're bringing it to West Bloomfield. Laura, I wanted to stick with you. From a chamber's point of view, what opportunities does a community that is so diverse like Greater West Bloomfield bring to women who are looking to start that business and build that project that's been a passion project for them for years? What makes this community particularly somewhere that is great for them to start that idea, bring that to ideation, and ultimately thrive early on as they build their business?
I know that's a great question. And West Bloomfield is such a diverse community. It's so many small businesses and thriving small businesses, right? So bringing a panel like this or an idea like this to a community that's already thriving and, still has its challenges, and we're here to help along with those, but to kind of partner with other communities and bring them to this one community to say, hey, what are you all doing right? And we're kind of doing this, and let's talk about it. And again, even if it's a similar business, doing that benchmarking of what are you doing right? What am I doing wrong? Or what are you doing right that maybe I could try? So really developing those relationships with a community that's so open to it is a great opportunity to bring that on board for West Bloomfield. So we're very grateful that the library was available to us and that the community has sold out our events so quickly. So we're very excited.
The event happening Thursday, May 29th, 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Township Main Library, 4600 Walnut Lake Road. Easy to find, right next door to us at the Town Hall Complex here in West Bloomfield Township. A really compelling panel going to be discussing women in business. Vanessa Palermo, the CEO of LaSalle Construction Services. Rashida Kamaria Williams, founder of Inspired Life Professionals, will be there. Brenda Rios, director at Ally Financial, Erica White from Ford Motor Company, and even Amanda Sweet, a creative fairy godmother. Interesting concept there. You'll have to take a look by joining at this event on Thursday, May 29th, to find out even more about that. Sadly, last year the event was in Southfield. It obviously had such great success that you wanted to continue it and bring it to different areas of Oakland County in the future, beginning this year with West Bloomfield being the home of this event. So from last year, was there a moment that stood out to you as particularly powerful that sort of speaks to why it's important to have this sort of become an annual tradition here in Oakland County?
Of course, I think we're making an impact. We're helping one another.
Sorry, my apologies for interrupting. It appears we're having an issue with your mic on our side. We're going to take care of that for a moment. So I'm just going to stall here for a brief moment so we can pull you out of our main session and work with you on that. In the meantime, Laura, we'll stick with you here. What advice would you give to local women, especially those who are beginning their entrepreneurial journey, if they are either starting their business now or maybe they're attending something like this, networking with other women in business and trying to learn more? What do you think is a good piece of advice for them to start with as they begin their journey?
No, another great question, and one that's so relevant for this type of event. One big piece of advice is find a mentor, right? Find a mentor who you feel comfortable with, who you admire. And so that way you always have someone to call, right? You always have somebody to go to and say, these are the challenges I'm having, or what do you think? I'm thinking of making this big career move. And that's one thing that's so important with this event and one thing that was really impactful for me in the year prior is that we had so many generations in one room, and we really had students speaking to older retired entrepreneurs and talking to each other and really being vulnerable with the conversation. So that's why we think this is so important. And that's one big piece of advice is don't keep it to yourself. Speak to people like us. If you don't necessarily have a mentor, go to the organizations like these that we're happy to help. It may be very intimidating when you're first starting, but it doesn't have to be. There's always somebody willing to help. And that's what's great part of this community of women and our allies, right? It's not just women, it's everybody that supports us and wants to learn along with us. So find a mentor that you feel comfortable with, and that'll take you a very long way.
More information on Women Who Thrive, the Power of Networking, coming to the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, and other events all throughout the spring and summer at the main library and the West Acres branch, can be found on Facebook at West Bloom LIB and on their website at wblib.org. Joining us on the Splash Live, Laura Geftos from the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and Siley Garcia from Oakland Thrive as we preview this event coming up. Siley, it seems that we've taken care of our technical difficulties from earlier on. Sorry for interrupting you. I do want to go back to that, talking about last year's event, sort of a great kickoff for this that's turned it into an annual tradition. What was a moment from that you believe was particularly powerful and inspired you and others partnering to want to bring this event back in 2025 and bring it here to West Bloomfield?
I think collaboration and partnership, it's the key. We are in the same boat. We are, small business owners. We're a woman. We are a community that needs the power of connections. So I think, people are still talking about last year's event. We made an impact with the community and the small business owners. And we would like to continue doing the same thing, partnering, doing events, collaborating, having one other, helping one other. And, just at the end of the day, just helping one another. We are humans. We are small business owners. We're women. This event, it's open to the public. But we want to encourage women to be better every day. and collaborating with others. So I think the keynote and the takeaway, it's collaborating and partnering with other women to support one another.
Sadri, in your conversation with these business owners, particularly women in business, and those that maybe are in more heavily affected communities and growing businesses like minority communities, what do you think that, from your conversations with them, that they did take away, and what impact these sort of conversations, this networking opportunity had for them as they pursue their dreams in business?
So I think at the end of the day, you never know who you are going to meet in this type of events, right? So maybe the person that is sitting next to you, it's the person that you need to continue doing business. You never know if that person is going to know someone that it's going to help your business, that it's going to make your business grow. That's why we will believe about the power of connections. And we said, put yourself out there as a business owner. We know that it's really hard to attend every single event. But I think, putting yourself out there, knowing that there is someone that could help your business, it's really impactful. And we are here to help one another as an organization. We have a lot of events, workshops, trainings, networking events, and we do these for our community and for small business owners because we know how important it is, besides your business, to collaborate with others and do your networking.
More information on this event and other things happening with the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce can be found on mhcc.org, and Oakland Thrive can be found on oaklandthrive.com. Laura Geftos, Siley Garcia joining me on the Splash Live, previewing Women Who Thrive, the Power of Networking, coming to West Bloomfield Thursday, May 29th, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Siley, we want to give you one final opportunity. Anything else that we haven't spoken about today, or any final messages you'd like to give to the community as they get ready for this event on May 29th?
I would like to say, don't be afraid of showing up to events. You are not alone. We are trying to build a great community, and you are going to get a chance to talk with amazing people and takeaways. Just talk to the person that it's next to you. Like maybe that person is afraid to talk as well. So we never know when are we going to meet the right person, and everything it's about, as I said before, collaboration and partnership. So I truly, I want to encourage you to attend this type of events because it's really important for yourself professionally and personally. I think it's amazing. So we're looking forward to see you there on May 29th.
And Laura, same question to you. Any lasting message for women who are business owners as we speak, maybe have some ideas that they have had some struggles getting those first steps made? Any lasting message for them as maybe they prepare to come out on May 29th?
Yeah, just to know that there are these kinds of resources available to them, right? With the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, you do not have to be Hispanic or women-owned to be a part of the chamber. We have small entrepreneurs all the way to corporates that are part of our chamber. So just reach out to us and see how we can help you, right? Come to our networking events. We have a slew of workshops that are available with other organizations. So look at our calendars, see what's relevant to you. Call us, ask us the questions. And you never know who's going to be next to you, like Saidi mentioned, at these type of events. So reach out to us for any more resources. We're happy to help. mhcc.org for the Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, oaklandthrive.org for more information on Oakland Thrive. Laura Geftos, Saidi Garcia, thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
For more information on the Women Who Thrive event or the organizations involved, Oakland Thrive or Michigan Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, visit their websites at oaklandthrive.com or mhcc.com. This school year marks the third consecutive year of collaboration between the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition and the Yoga Wellness Program, with significant support from the Jamie Daniels Foundation. Here to tell us more about the yoga program and the collaboration is Chris Perry, Executive Director for the Jamie Daniels Foundation. Thank you for being here, Chris.
Well, thank you for having me this morning. I really appreciate the time.
No, we appreciate your presence starting off. So let's get into the collaboration. How did the partnership between the Jamie Daniels Foundation and the Greater West Bloomfield Community Collaboration come about?
Well, I guess I should back up and let you know that the yoga program is really designed to build mindfulness and coping skills within the children of West Bloomfield. And that's important because that impacts their mental health, their social emotional learning, and also it is considered a prevention factor or protective factor when it comes to substance use disorder, which is the focus of the Jamie Daniels Foundation.
Good, good, good. And we want to explore that a little bit more too about the foundation in itself. So since we started there, let's get into a little bit why. We're talking about the elementary kids at this point as well. Why elementary? Why elementary kids? Why is that a top priority?
That's a big priority because we need to give them the skills and the training before they start to encounter the anxieties and stress and frustrations of being a teenager
of life
and they get older. That's inevitable if they're going to face that. So the better that we can equip them with skills and how to understand and recognize the emotions they're having and how to manage them, the better they're going to cope as they get older. So we start early. It's kind of like, going upstream.
Good point. Good point. I like that. And man, you just hit the nail on the head. Just talking about finding a way to solve those type of problems and or possible stress and conflicts before they even occur. Because when life hits you, woo, we all know.
Absolutely.
But since we're talking about this being the third year, right? From your perspective, let's just talk about measuring results. How has the program positively impacted students and the school climate in general here in Greater West Bloomfield?
Right. Well, what we really get is we get qualitative and quantitative feedback from the teachers, the administrators, and the students about how it impacts their behavior and how they operate in school. We hear from teachers all the time about not only do they recognize that this is going to help the children going forward, but also just how they interact with each other at school and how they're able to manage themselves in the classroom and be more prepared for the lessons that the teachers want to give them. That being able to manage your emotions are so key to, regardless of the age group. But if we can teach that at a younger age, the better for them going forward.
Well said, well said. And I love that too. I love the effort that you all are doing. And as much as I love talking about these types of programs and initiatives happening with the youth in Greater West Bloomfield, I always where was this when I was younger? But I'm glad that we're doing something about it now. So we appreciate that. Yeah. With me right here live on The Splash, by the way, from the Jamie Daniels Foundation, Executive Director Chris Perry, talking about their collaboration and support for the yoga program in the elementary schools right here in West Bloomfield with the Greater West Bloomfield Community Coalition as well. So I want to talk about further measurement as well, the long-term goal. What does long-term success look like for early mental health intervention programs like this one?
Well, like I mentioned, is that the more that we can train the students around how to manage their health, the better. Now, when it comes to substance use disorder, there's two general areas that people consider. There's the risk factors and there's the protective factors. And the risk factors are things like genetics and their environment, maybe some trauma that they experienced.
Right.
The protective factors are positive relationships with adults and with each other. Like I said, mindfulness and coping skills and how to deal with emotions. They're not turning to substances to help medicate themselves to the struggles that they're having. So this is really building a foundation and a platform that children, as they grow up, that they can continue to build on. What's great about the program, it's an 8-week program that the teachers participate in with the students. So even after that 8 weeks, the teacher is using the language that everyone learned in that class to moderate each other. So it's beneficial for the students, not only that 8 weeks, but through the class, through the class year, and well beyond.
I love that. And so let's explore that a little bit more, talking about and beyond, right? We're starting off elementary, 3 years, seems like it's great success. Are there any plans to expand the yoga and mindfulness initiative maybe to other groups, other schools?
Yeah, we would love to expand it into middle school and beyond. Right now, the funding that we have is kind of limited to the elementary schools, but we touch all the elementary schools in West Bloomfield and all the grades. So we're really proud of that. We started this in 2022 and 2023 school year as a test, as a pilot, with just a couple classes in each of the elementary schools, and was overwhelmingly positive received by the administrators and the teachers. So we expanded it to all the grades and all the classrooms. Now, the next step obviously would be, if we could, to go into the middle school and start addressing it with them as well.
Right.
Be fantastic.
Yeah. But once again, Chris, I love how you're doing it, though. You're starting from the youth, going to middle school and high school. I mean, depending on how you do it as well, you'll probably catch those kids going from elementary, going to middle, and then going to high school, and they'll learn yoga all through their entire school life as well. And I think that just adds, oh my goodness, I love this so much. Great job, great effort as well, and we appreciate that. Now, I want to kind of tie some things into your foundation. First and foremost, tell us a little bit about the Jamie Daniels Foundation overview real quick.
Absolutely. Well, the Jamie Daniels Foundation started in 2018, and it was started in honor of Jamie Daniels, who lost his life to an overdose. So his parents, Lisa Daniels Goldman and Ken Daniels, started this foundation really just to make sure that no family or no child goes through the excruciating pain and experiences that they experienced. So our focus is around recovery and prevention. We have a number of programming for children and young adults who are in recovery to help them maintain their recovery journey. But now with this program, it is really around the prevention. And like I mentioned, is the more we can get people and young people to understand their emotions and to be able to manage their emotions, the less likely they will be turning to substances to help medicate themselves.
Correct.
And it's really critical because your brain really doesn't fully develop until you're 25, 26. So anytime you introduce a substance into the system, it's going to have an impact on that development of the brain. So we're trying to make sure that we prevent usage before it starts. That's really the focus of this initiative.
Yes. I'm glad you made that correlation, because that was essentially what I was going to ask. How does this program that you all have in school kind of correlate and reflect the broader goals and missions of the Jamie Daniels Foundation? But you laid it out perfectly, like you said, starting off young, putting things in their mind as to how they can, alleviate stress and just outside factors and noise and distractions to kind of just come to themselves and not have to worry about substance abuse or anything like that. We 100% love that. With me right here live on The Splash, by the way, Jamie Daniels Foundation Executive Director Chris Perry, talking about the yoga program in our elementary schools right here in Greater West Bloomfield and how they are actually helping the youth as well. Just a few things before we let you go, Chris. What moment or feedback from this program has stood out to you the most, either from the students, the parents, or educators?
I think I've had a chance to visit some of the classrooms when the students are going through it, and just how they're reacting to the teaching and the learning, and how they're interacting with each other in a much more positive way after they've gone through this training, which is really significant and heartwarming. Yeah. So even if certainly it's going to impact the prevention of substance use disorder, but they're just going to make them a more mindful child and better interact with each other, which is obviously a benefit.
Yeah. And you know what, to be honest with you, we want to support you anyway. Just doing this and putting the word out about the program in general, I feel like we're doing our part here at Civic Center TV. But beyond this and beyond grant support, how can community members, parents, local business owners support the work that you're doing here in West Bloomfield for our youth?
I think the biggest thing is our focus is really just on children and making sure that they have the support that they need. So parents need to understand what their children are going through. There's plenty of information on our website and others around how to talk to your child about their mental health, how to talk to your child about substance use, whether it's alcohol or cannabis, and the dangers of those. All those things, you can never start too early with your child. Now, obviously, it has to be age-appropriate conversation, but the sooner you start having those conversations, the better you're going to be able to avoid that. Substance use disorder is a chronic disease as identified by the American Medical Association. So we want to make sure that we put those prevention factors in place for all children so they don't succumb to this disease.
Well said. And once again, thank you for your work, your support for our youth, and just putting mindfulness into their brains early. I love that, man. Thank you so much again for your information. Executive Director from the Jamie Daniels Foundation, Mr. Chris Perry. We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time.
Oh, yes. We appreciate everything that they're doing. We'll continuously keep our community and audience updated with different things, programs, initiatives that you may or may not know about that's helping our youth right in our community. We got more things to talk about and more people to highlight doing great things right here in the greater West Bloomfield area. We'll talk about that coming up. We're live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Want to enjoy Civic Center TV on your social media? Find us on Instagram at Civic Center TV. Get notified when we upload one of our interviews, full episodes, and more. Thank you for watching and listening to Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
And now, back to The Splash Live.
Live, local, social, it's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. Thank you for being here. I'm your host, Kevin McIntosh. Make sure you stay connected with us on all of our digital platforms, by the way. We are on Facebook, Civic Center TV 15, as well as YouTube, Instagram, and X, that app formerly known as Twitter. We're all on there at Civic Center TV. And of course, if you are watching on Civic Center TV, you take that smartphone and scan that QR code. It'll give you a link directly to our social media platforms as well. The West Bloomfield High School girls varsity tennis team has had a very successful season so far. After finishing second to Bloomfield Hills, they secured a spot in the Michigan State tennis tournament. We actually got a chance to speak with West Bloomfield High School varsity girls tennis coach Chris Ludwig to tell us how they got there and to reflect on the season so far.
Chris, great to have you with us.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome. Glad to be getting into this conversation. Big congratulations on another stellar season. What do you think were the key factors that contributed to the team's return to the state tournament this year?
We were fortunate to have a lot of core players from the last couple of years still be in the lineup, good leadership. That really helps out to have those guys know, good experience on the tennis team goes a long way. So we had a lot of core players, and specifically our singles lineup was very good this year. They basically kind of paved the way in doubles, although we're doing very well and improving every week. There's still a lot of inexperience, but they're getting much better as time goes on.
I mean, from everything I've heard, the team has had 6 flights reach the finals, including all of the singles players. What does that say about the depth and consistency of your roster?
Yeah, it's nice to have players, first off, listen. Too often as a coach, you mention things on the court, and fortunately throughout the year, a lot of the players are listening, and by the end of the year, they're understanding what they need to do on the court. And although sometimes they make mistakes on occasion, that's okay. But for the most part, they're understanding what they need to do and implementing it. And it was great to see, again, as you said, the singles players all make it to the finals, and doubles teams were still right there and doing very well too, and carried us to an extra 8 points to help us get to the state tournament this year.
That's right. Every single one of your players has made incredible accomplishments throughout this run. One of those players being Elise Lividotti. Her performance in the finals was noted as particularly gutsy. Can you talk about her match and what it revealed about her resilience as a player?
Well, Elise is a rock star for one. She's always been, from the beginning, she's been in the singles lineup all 4 years. She's been the hardest working, I think last year we voted her for. She's a rock star, and everything you could do, everything you want as a coach and a player, Elise is that. And for her singles matches, she's done a great year, had a great year. I think she's 13-6 on the year for one singles, which is very tough, especially in this county. And she went to the finals being pretty tired, but she took a set off of Bloomfield Hills, which we've never done, at least since I've been coaching. And obviously Bloomfield Hills always has a very, very good team. And for her to even take a set in singles is fantastic. And unfortunately, her didn't have quite the endurance at the very end, but still, it's a fantastic senior season for her.
It's an incredible senior season, and she should be very proud of what she's accomplished this year. And with a 12-4 record and 2 tournament wins, how does this season compare to past seasons in terms of growth and achievement?
It's a good question. Yeah, I think this year we didn't know what we had in the doubles lineups. Singles, we knew that we had some very solid players, and we kind of knew that we would get some wins there. But in doubles, it was going to be luckily we got some freshmen come in, which was fantastic, but we were very, very much not knowing what was going to be in doubles. And so the growth there was fantastic. It started right off the get-go, and we got a couple tournament wins, one at Holt, and the other one we hosted. And that actually, technically we were tied, but we won by head-to-head against Walled Lake Central. But it was really close, and a lot of the teams, a lot of the players, like I said, they bought into what we're teaching, and luckily they've done a great job. And like I said, it's a fantastic year. Overall, this year has been a learning experience. I think there's a lot of good stuff going forward into the next couple of years that this team will continue to be good for the next couple of years.
Everything that these players are learning right now is going to help them so much in the long run, and that's all thanks to everything that you've done for them. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we're talking with West Bloomfield girls tennis coach Chris Ludwig, talking about the tennis team's recent success and their qualification for the Michigan State tennis tournament. Now, Chris, were there any specific moments or turning points during the season that signaled to you that this team had what it takes to return to states?
Yeah, we had a couple matches in our league. So this year we had a goal of getting third place in our league. We knew that North Farmington and Rochester were maybe just a notch above, but we could still compete with them very well. But for us, it was to make third place. And all 3 matches that we won in the league were all very tight. And I basically told the girls at times, hey, every single game counts, because it could potentially be a match where if we tie 4-4 in league rules, you have to have sets won or games lost as a tiebreaker. And so every game counted, and they all kind of got that down. And once they heard that, specifically in the Berkeley match, it seemed like they understood like every point counts, every single shot counts. And we ended up winning against Berkeley 4-4, but we won by sets won by 1 set. And the Troy, Athens, and I forgot the other match. The Berkeley and Troy, Athens, and Lake Orion match, we won 5-3, but it was all very, very tight. So those matches I thought was a big indicator of this team coming in clutch when they needed to.
Well, I mean, winning these games in such a close fashion, I mean, that's got to feel even better than a traditional win might feel. It just shows how much hard work is going into this team. And team chemistry often plays a very big role when it comes to success. What's been the dynamic among the players this year, both on and off the court?
Yeah, so I think, again, a lot of those core players have been around for the last 4 or 5 years, and we've had some really good teams in the past too, 2-3 years ago as well. But those players, unfortunately, we were in a different regional that some of the best teams in the state. One year we had the first place, 4th place, and 9th place team in the same region. So even though we had a really good team, it was just tough to get out of there. But they understood that, our philosophy, our way to win and our way to practice here, and then being able to push that to the younger underclassmen or the new people on varsity, that goes a long way to, takes a little bit off of me as a coach and allows the players to kind of self-regulate the team chemistry and allow them to kind of buy into the system so that we can continue to be a good program and a top 20 program every year.
Well, this season has been off to a great run, but it's not over yet. You've got a big upcoming state tournament in Grand Rapids. How have you and the rest of the coaching staff started to prepare the girls mentally and physically for what's to come?
Well, we did take a little break right after the regional, just because we met all our goals this year. But then from there, I said, hey, guys, we have nothing to lose. We are, there's a lot of really good teams there. And the cool part is we get to go out there and show show the best that we can do. So you go out there and play not to lose. And a lot of times when we have that type of mindset, you see a lot of improvement and see a lot of good things happen on the court. So, we're really excited. We're just got to pin down a few things that we want to work on, specifically being a little more aggressive at the net and doubles, and then singles, kind of working the cross-court stuff a little bit more. But they kind of understand what they need to do, and so we got about a week here to work on it and see if we can perfect some of those things, or at least make it more manageable so that we can have some success in Grand Rapids.
I love that mindset. You're like, hey, we've achieved all of our goals. We got nothing to lose, playing with house money, and you're off to a great run in Grand Rapids, and can't wait to see what's to come with the tennis team from there. Chris, I got one more quick question for you before we wrap things up. What are your goals for the team at States, and are there any specific matchups or teams that you're specifically preparing for?
Good question. There's a lot of teams. Usually, I think when I looked last time, I think we have 18 teams or 20 teams there. So a lot of those teams we don't get to see throughout the year. So we don't really have a team other than Bloomfield Hills and maybe Troy Athens that we've seen before. Obviously, anytime we play a league team, we'd like to kind of beat them. But I think for us, it's just kind of go out there, see what we can do against other parts of the state and other teams in the state, and see if we can come out with some wins. And the goal would probably be, depends on how the draws come out, because I always kind of know what teams are pretty strong and other teams that are definitely beatable. But 3-4 points would be nice, and that usually places you in the top 15 in the state. And obviously, if we have a good flight, win a couple of matches, which always can happen, we've seen it plenty of times before with other teams, then you can still be looking at a top 10 team potentially. So that'd be the goal, and it would be a good success for us this year with how young our team is.
Certainly would be. Best of luck to you, and best of luck to all of the players on the tennis team. Chris, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You can keep up with all the success of all West Bloomfield athletics, both past and present, on their website at westbloomfieldathletics.com. Memorial Day weekend is basically already here, and experts are already expecting it to be a very busy traveling time. What challenges will you possibly face, and how can you avoid or alleviate them? Public Relations Program Consultant for AAA of Michigan, Adrian Woodland, joined us on the Splash Live to give us tips for Memorial Day travel.
Adrian, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. Very important topic to be getting into around this time of year. Adrian, what unique traffic or travel challenges do you see for West Bloomfield travelers over Memorial Day weekend, and how can residents plan around them?
Yeah, AAA has partnered with an entity called NREX, and they're a provider of transportation data insights. And they expect afternoons for Memorial Day weekend to be the most congested. So if you are planning to travel for Memorial Day weekend, getting up and leaving in the morning, you can miss some of the heavier traffic.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, I mean, a lot of people are going to be planning to go up, maybe visit some family, maybe hit the beach, and there's going to be a lot of traffic on the roads, and it's important for everyone to plan accordingly. How can local drivers possibly use AAA's tools to maybe find the best fuel deals in Oakland County? Maybe if they're running low on gas and they need a quick pick-me-up.
Yeah, even with gas prices expected to be lower this Memorial Day weekend compared to last year, drivers can still find ways to save at the pump. You want to start by peeking at current gas prices on our AAA website, and you can also use AAA's gas cost calculator to get an idea of how much gas will cost for your trip. Once you hit the road, you want to keep in mind that stations off of the interstate or near attractions tend to be the most expensive. If you're looking to save money, you maybe want to drive a little bit further. down the road to find cheaper gas. AAA members can also save money through Shell's Fuel Rewards program, and then they can also save money at Love's truck stops.
Interesting. Absolutely big, important things for everyone to keep in mind before they hit the roads for these big vacations for Memorial Day weekend. Now, with trips like these, I'd imagine that there's probably going to be a lot of people who maybe haven't taken a big trip since the end of last summer. Maybe they haven't updated their car or prepared it just yet for a big road trip. So what should West Bloomfield households prioritize during a pre-trip vehicle inspection, especially if they haven't serviced their car since the winter?
Yeah, it's really important before you hit the roadway that you make sure to check your vehicle and have it inspected. A simple pre-trip inspection of things like your tires, your battery, your brakes, and other fluids can essentially prevent unexpected breakdowns while you're on the roadway.
All right, interesting things to keep in mind. And then for families looking to avoid the Memorial Day road congestion, what are maybe some other public transit options or car rental strategies that you would recommend in our region?
Yeah, if you're looking to reserve a rental car for a trip, you want to reserve that car as soon as you know the date for your trip. Reserving your rental car early guarantees you'll get what you want at the price that you want. To save money, consider the type of vehicle you want versus what you actually need. If you're traveling with a small group and don't need a ton of room, smaller vehicles tend to be more economical and fuel efficient. And for extra savings, AAA members get exclusive benefits when booking through Hertz Rental Car.
Wow, yes, great points to keep in mind. I'm going to take note of a lot of this stuff too. I'm planning some traveling for the next couple of months, not over Memorial Day, but over some very busy periods. So those are some very important things for myself and for everyone to keep in mind. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm speaking with Adrian Woodland, the Public Relations Program Consultant for the AAA of Michigan, who's giving us some very important tips and tricks to keep in mind as Memorial Day weekend quickly approaches and a lot of people are going to be hitting the roads. Now, a lot of people can also get help through the AAA mobile app to streamline their travel planning. How can West Bloomfield residents leverage the app beyond just checking gas prices?
Yeah, you can use the AAA mobile app to manage your membership. So you can renew for another year, add a driver, view your digital membership card, and also access your insurance. You can also see vacation recommendations, including our top travel deals and more. And you can also get maps of AAA discounts. And so you can see AAA savings near you, and you can also customize that map to show the deals that you want.
Okay, yeah, great points to keep in mind for everybody. Now, here's something that I think everyone needs to keep in mind. The road can be a very unpredictable place. There can always be accidents that arise at the most unexpected times. So many families in our community travel with children. What safety and comfort tips should parents keep in mind for long Memorial Day drives?
So first, with any vehicle, you want to make sure that everyone inside your vehicle is wearing a seatbelt. And for younger children, you want to make sure they are in the proper booster or safety seats for their age and weight. And you also want to make sure that they are properly buckled and secured. You want to be sure, and this is, for comfort as well as safety, you want to make sure that you have plenty of non-perishable snacks and water for everyone that's in the vehicle, including pets. And also, again, make sure that you set the younger ones up with, books, toys, anything they need before you get going. Because as the driver, you want to limit all types of distractions. So while you want to set your GPS destination before you pull off, again, you want to make sure that everyone in the vehicle is secure with whatever they need before you hit the road.
That's absolutely right. I don't have any kids myself, but I remember when I was a much younger kid and I get antsy on card rides like everybody else does. I get hungry, I get bored, and you want to make sure that the kids are safe and are entertained throughout the car trip so that they're not causing any distractions. Now, Adrian, which local businesses or service providers should AAA members consider when planning a Memorial Day trip? And how does AAA partner with these community resources?
Well, again, AAA has many partners through our discounts and rewards program. Several I've already mentioned about the exclusive savings AAA members can get with Hertz. Again, AAA members can get discounts through Shell's fuel reward program. Those are both two tips, that are important before getting on a trip. But it's really important, for AAA members. You can go to our website and look at all of our discounts and rewards, everything from local businesses in your community to businesses across the country that AAA members are able to get discounts with.
All right, that's a great place for everyone to keep in mind to gain a little more information on some very important tips. Adrian, I want to thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live. Before I let you go, any final words or words of wisdom for people to keep in mind before they hit the roads for this weekend, for Memorial Day weekend?
Again, before hitting the roads, you just want to know it's going to be busy out there. In Michigan, we're expecting about 1.2 million Michiganders will be out on the roadways for a road trip for Memorial Day weekend. So the roadways are going to be busy. You definitely want to plan your trip ahead of time. As the driver, put down any distractions. Make sure to get that pre-trip vehicle inspection to make sure that your vehicle is in proper running order. And again, definitely do not drive impaired this holiday weekend.
That's right. Everyone should stay safe on the roads, and we don't need any additional mishaps or mayhem to deal with as we're making our way to our destination. Adrian, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having me.
Check your vehicle before you go, book hotels and rental cars early, travel with sufficient lead time, and stay flexible on dates and times. But overall, have fun this Memorial Day weekend, and we will continuously keep you updated with more great tips and practices. The Michigan Week Community Awards Breakfast was recently celebrated in West Bloomfield. In case you've never been, it's an incredible event that highlights local residents for their dedication, hard work, and their service to the community. While Civic Center TV covered the entire event, I actually took some time to go speak to some of the awardees about what it meant to be acknowledged and recognized by their community members.
Volunteering means offering to support another in need without an expectation of something in return, and part of my commitment to humanity to help those who need it.
The church means a whole lot to me, and it meant a whole lot to me. And I volunteered at the church. And when my children were growing up, I volunteered at the school. Where children and your children go, you should be an active parent in that particular school.
A celebration of service to and from local residents who take the initiative to push the community forward. With the West Bloomfield Fire Department and retired West Bloomfield Police Chief Mike Patton receiving one of the highest honors of the event.
Both of them received the Dr. Seymour Gretschko Award, one representing a group, our esteemed fire department, one an individual, our esteemed former chief of police.
Well, recognizing the fire department's role as a department, as a whole, for youth in the community and really advocating for community service and public service. That's what it's all about. And couldn't be more grateful to be part of the team that's doing that here in West Bloomfield.
Well, I was quite surprised, if you couldn't tell by the look on my face. But this, as they mentioned, 40 years of service. Oh gosh, I hope it's not me, but it is. Look, I'm really grateful here. I was blessed, Kevin. Have you heard me say this before? When I landed here in West Bloomfield over 40 years ago. And I've had a remarkable career. I didn't do hardly any of it alone. I had a great team that I worked with over the years. I'm fortunate to hold a current seat on the township board, and so I can continue in service to our great community here.
Being acknowledged for the Dr. Seymour Gretschko Award is a respectable honor. It symbolizes what he represents in the greater West Bloomfield community.
The Michigan Week Committee so valued the legacy of Dr. Gretschko that we literally believed there should be a way to lift up the principles that he modeled. So the values in his life in support of youth, and the quote, "If I err, I will err on the side of the child," meant so much that we felt we needed to perpetuate that.
And if you want to find out more information on this year's and past Michigan Week Community Awards breakfast events, I should say, go directly to their website, michiganweek.org. Or if you want to watch the entire 2025 Michigan Week Award breakfast, go directly to our website, civiccentertv.com. Click on the On Demand tab. We are also on all social media. Don't forget to keep up with us on Facebook at Civic Center TV 15, YouTube, Instagram, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Civic Center TV, and we have that QR code on our screen on Civic Center TV as well. I've been your host, Kevin McIntosh. We're live, local, social. It's The Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.